Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're taking a closer look at a really fascinating source you shared with us. Redbook, MLM's Secret Beyond Words Special Edition.
Yeah, this one's quite something.
It is. It's not just your standard guide, is it? It promises distributors, and I'm quoting here, efficient and effective knowledge and skills for the MLM world.
Right. And, what immediately jumps out is how it shifts the focus. It's not just sales tactics. It's straight into psychological mastery.
Exactly. The preface makes this, well, pretty bold claim. It says basic strategies take months, maybe years, but these techniques, once you master them, are like mind-reading skills.
Mind reading. I mean, that really sets a high bar from the get-go. It suggests the real key isn't just the business model, it's understanding people on a much deeper level, almost intuitive.
And before you even get to the strategies, there's that warning,
Yeah.
which is unusual, to say the least.
Oh, yeah, the photocopying thing.
Right. Photocopy it and expect monthly bad luck and flop-tastic endeavors. Team members quitting faster than a cat chasing a laser pointer. It's kind of mystical for a business book.
It is, but that warning itself is a psychological tactic, isn't it?
How so?
Well, it immediately creates this feeling of scarcity. Like this is unique, powerful, maybe even slightly forbidden knowledge.
Ah, okay. So it makes the information seem more valuable just by warning you not to share it easily.
Precisely. It frames it as something special, something potent that needs protecting.
Yeah.
Sets the stage,
Got it. So, okay, our mission here then is to really unpack how this guide frames MLM, not just as a business,
No, much more.
but as a psychological game, where understanding human behavior is the key difference between, well, failure and effortless success.
Yeah, we'll dig into the tools, the tactics, many drawn from actual psychology that it claims can turn prospects into partners.
Okay, let's start with the foundation. The book's core philosophy. It says, the only way to succeed is to do the business and never quit.
Total perseverance.
And failures, they're just provisional failures or delayed success. It's a very strong message. But how does it suggest someone actually maintains that mindset?
That's a really good question. Because it puts immense weight on individual responsibility. Success will entirely be dependent on
Let me guess.
the choices you made, to the decisions you make, to the actions you will take.
Wow, all caps. So it's all on you.
Completely. Your mindset, your actions, they're presented as the ultimate deciders, almost regardless of anything else.
Okay, and a part of maintaining that is this concept they call game face maturity.
Right. The performance aspect.
Yeah, master your emotions, mask stress with positivity. It says MLM is a performance. You need to forget everything, especially the problems when you're working, and step into this confident business character.
And the book tries to ground this psychologically. It mentions MLM resilience studies
Oh, interesting.
and claims leaders who adopted this kind of mindset actually doubled productivity.
Doubled. Wow.
Yeah. The idea is that prospects pick up on your magnetic vibe, so you need to make it sharp to inspire joins. It's about projecting that unwavering confidence.
So it's not just faking it, it's embodying it
Yeah,
to influence others and maybe even yourself.
exactly. It creates a sort of positive feedback loop. You project confidence, people respond well, which boosts your actual confidence and performance.
Right. But even with the game face, they stressed you can't just coast. Continuous learning is key,
They tackle the Alam Konayan attitude, AKNY.
which is Tagalog for
I already know that. That kind of closed off thinking.
the know-it-all trap.
Exactly. So instead, they push for GLLA.
ELA.
Good listening and learning skills. They call it the first attribute for new networkers.
So stay humble, stay open.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
It emphasizes being adaptable, always learning. Which makes sense because it sets you up for the more advanced stuff later in the book.
There's strategies that might seem unconventional.
Precisely. You
Yeah.
need that openness, that GLLA, to even consider some of the techniques it proposes.
Okay, so we've got the internal mindset sorted. What about the external communication? Because this is where it gets really interesting with the language.
Oh, yeah, the ground rules.
It's quite radical. It explicitly says don't use terms like multi-level marketing, MLM, investment, capital, business, recruitment, or marketing.
Because people have negative ideas about them.
Right. The book claims using those words means prospects will surely run away from you. That's a big claim.
It is, and the alternative language is key. What does it suggest instead?
Okay, so instead of MLM, use financial literacy or board building.
Right.
Instead of recruitment, enlistment.
Enlistment. Interesting.
And instead of marketing, business development.
So what's the psychological effect of doing that? I mean, changing the words so drastically.
Yeah. Presumably, it's about perception, right? From the very first conversation.
Exactly. It's like a preemptive strike against those negative associations. It tries to bypass the mental walls people might have built up around those specific terms.
Right. So you invite them in with less loaded language, hoping for a more open perspective.
Yeah, exactly. A fresh look.
It's clever. And it links this directly back to Cialdini, doesn't it? Well, the 6 principles of persuasion mentioned in the intro.
It does explicitly. It says things like social proof, reciprocity, and mindset mastery aren't just theories. They're practical tools to motivate teams, attract prospects, and foster loyalty.
And the social influence section really shows this in action. For example, creating that bandwagon effect.
How?
By you mentioned team successes. Like over 500 members in our network have achieved 6-figure incomes in the last year.
Ah, social proof. Everyone's doing it, so it must be good.
Right. Or using a short video of a team member explaining how MLM changed their life.
Yeah.
That builds trust, authenticity.
Makes it relatable.
Yeah, and group presentations. That taps into FOMO.
Fear of missing out.
Mm-hmm. Creates that sense of momentum, makes people feel they might miss out on something big if they don't join.
But you know, it's interesting. The book does include an ethical note here about the testimonials.
Yeah. Always ensure testimonials are genuine to avoid misleading claims, which can damage long-term credibility.
That's important. It shows an awareness, at least, of that line between persuasion and, well, manipulation. Maintaining trust is mentioned.
Okay, so mindset's foundational. Language is strategic. Now we get to the part that promises those mind-reading skills. This is the advanced stuff.
Right. Tailoring the approach based on subtle cues. Almost hidden ones. How does it even suggest you start doing that?
It begins with personalities. The idea is, if you know someone's core traits, you can basically transform some personality to merit on a prospect more. Adapt your personality to match theirs.
Mirroring them, essentially.
Seems like it. To make them feel comfortable, connected, eager to partner. It supposedly makes prospecting laser sharp.
Okay. And how do you figure out the personality so quickly?
Well, this is where it gets specific. Face structure.
Face structure reveals personality.
That's what the book claims. It focuses on foreheads, eyes, lips. It literally says, in short, sa isang tingin mo lang sa prospect, alam mo na kung ano ang keywords na dapat mong sabihin.
Wow. With just one glance, you know what keywords to say. That's bold. What kind of details does it give?
Things like round faces suggest warmth. Square jaws indicate strong will. Long, narrow faces point to analytical detail focus.
Okay, so it's offering these really specific, almost deterministic links between physical features and inner traits.
Exactly. Now, obviously, we should probably note that physiognomy, reading personality from faces.
Yeah, that's generally considered pseudoscience in modern psychology, right? Like phrenology back in the day.
Pretty much. But the book presents it as a tool, giving the networker this sense of having secret knowledge.
An immediate shortcut to understanding someone. Okay. What else is in this toolbox?
Dominant hand.
Left or right-handedness. How does that play in?
It connects right-handers, linked to the left brain, with logic and facts.
Okay.
And left-handers, right brain, with creativity and emotions.
A bit of an oversimplification of brain lateralization, maybe?
Likely, yes. But the advice is to tailor your pitch based on it. For right-handers, plans and numbers. Our comp plan yields 20% ROI.
Logical appeal.
And for left-handers, paint visions, imagine the freedom to pursue your passion.
Emotional appeal. So it's another quick tool to enhance influence.
That's how it's presented. Again, giving the networker a perceived edge, a quick way to frame their message.
Even if the science behind it is, let's say, debatable or more complex.
Right, and it doesn't stop there. It also mentions handwriting analysis.
Pathology.
And even blood typing for personality assessment.
Blood type personalities, like in some parts of East Asia.
Seems so. It reinforces this idea of a really comprehensive, if unconventional, psychological toolkit. Anything that might offer a clue.
It really leans into that desire for a key to unlock people, doesn't it? Using almost any system available.
And finally, in this section, it covers broader temperament personality systems.
Like the classic 4 temperaments. Phlegmatic, melancholic.
Yeah, sanguine, choleric. Or it mentions modern ones like true colors, red, blue, green, yellow.
Okay, and the goal there is similar.
Same idea. Understand the type, Know the right keywords. So you might motivate reds with challenges, greens with data.
Tailoring the motivation strategy.
Exactly. It's presented as powerful because it's like reading the prospect's mind,
Yeah.
speaking directly to their core drivers.
Making the pitch feel much more personal, more resonant than something generic.
Right. So it's a whole suite of tools designed to give you that mind-reading edge.
A fascinating, if sometimes scientifically questionable, toolkit for influence.
Okay, so you've got the mindset, the language, the mind-reading tools. But what about when people still say no? Because that happens.
A lot, presumably.
The book acknowledges this. It says, prospects enter conversations with mental walls, conditioned by past experiences to say no.
Which makes sense. People are often guarded.
So how does it suggest you handle that? How do you get past those walls without just arguing?
Well, the core idea seems to be reducing resistance indirectly, not head-on confrontation.
Okay. What kind of strategies?
It suggests using humor to lower guards, kind of break the tension, make it less formal.
Makes sense.
Then asking open-ended questions to encourage self-reflection. Instead of pushing benefits, ask something like, what would financial freedom look like for you?
Ah, get them thinking about their own desires, bypass the no reflex.
Exactly. And also, subtly mirror body language to build unconscious trust.
Rapport building.
Right. It's about disarming them through connection and empathy rather than winning an argument.
That's quite sophisticated. But what if, after all that, the answer is still no? They just won't join.
Then there's this interesting closing technique. If they keep saying no,
Wow.
the book suggests you agree with them. Say something like, okay lang siya kahit hindi siya mag-join. It's okay with you, even if they don't join.
Really? Just give up.
Not quite. The idea is this makes them relax, the pressure's off.
Okay. And then?
Then you grab this chance to offer a lesser opportunity. Like what?
Like just buying a product instead of joining the whole business.
The downsell.
Exactly. It frames it as still achieving a winning transaction for the networker. You didn't get the sign-up, but you got a sale.
It's like that door-in-the-face technique, isn't it? Ask big, get rejected, then ask small.
Precisely. Retreating to a smaller request makes it seem more reasonable, relieves the pressure, increases the chance of some kind of yes.
Clever. Okay, what else is in the closing toolkit? There's the ABC technique,
Right.
advisor bridge, client.
Where the bridge, that's you, the networker, has to really edify the advisor, who is usually the upline,
Build them up, basically. Why?
to make sure the prospect, the client, sees the advisor as important, knowledgeable, and listens attentively. Give him high regard.
Leveraging authority. Makes sense.
And it even gives this specific tip. Offer the advisor a bottle of water and want to see prospects when the prospect isn't there.
Huh. Why do it when the prospect isn't there?
The book says it's to subtly show na mas importante si advisor, to communicate their status before the meeting even starts, reinforcing that authority.
Wow, that's quite a subtle psychological play. Pre-framing the advisor's importance through actions, not just words.
Yeah. Now we get to two of the most, let's say, personal and maybe ethically complex closing strategies in the book.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
First, the flower presentation.
Flower presentation.
Yeah. It suggests giving a thoughtful gift, specifically to women prospects, flowers, maybe a nice pen, even just a sincere compliment,
Why? What's the goal?
to trigger reciprocity, make them feel appreciated, magnetic, and therefore more receptive to the pitch.
Using a gift to create a sense of obligation, essentially. Cialdini's reciprocity principle again.
Seems like it. And it explicitly notes this is especially effective con Pogian networker.
If the networker is handsome.
Yes,
Wow, okay. That adds another layer entirely.
it certainly does. And then there's the silent I love you strategy.
Silent. I love you. You just mentally think it.
Exactly. You mentally affirm I love you towards your prospect before and during the meeting.
And the book claims this. Does what?
It claims this alters your energy to one of care and authenticity, and that the prospect senses this subconsciously, leading to
Higher conversions. It even suggests a male prospect might join a female networker's business partly because he feels she likes him, so he wants to keep showing up.
that feels very personal and potentially crossing some lines, maybe?
It definitely raises questions, doesn't it? How do
Yeah.
these very personal, emotionally charged techniques balance with that ethical note about genuine testimonials we mentioned earlier?
Yeah, the line between genuine connection, which is valuable, and calculated emotional influence seems very fine here.
Extremely fine. It pushes the boundaries of psychological influence quite far.
So, okay, we've covered a lot. Bringing it all together, what does this red book ultimately suggest for you, the listener, navigating this world?
Well, the book's conclusion seems to be that MLM success isn't really about sales volume or just raw intellect.
No, it hinges on psychology, influence, and mindset.
Exactly. It's about understanding people and projecting care, so that ideally, prospects say yes naturally.
We've seen this whole system, the mind-reading techniques, the strategic language, even these unconventional emotional tactics. It paints a picture of incredibly sophisticated persuasion.
Sophisticated, yes, and sometimes, as we've noted, perhaps provocative or ethically complex. It's a really fascinating look at how far business strategy can go when it focuses intensely on influencing human behavior, not just selling stuff.
It truly positions the whole thing as a psychological game, first and foremost.
Which brings us to a final thought, really, for you listening. In any field you're in, any interaction, how much of success does boil down to mastering that art of human connection, of subtle influence?
And maybe more importantly, where do you draw the line? When does effective strategy tip over into manipulation?
That's the big question to ponder, isn't it? Based on this deep dive into one very specific, very psychological approach.
We've aimed to give you a well-informed shortcut into understanding this particular source. What stands out most to weigh you from this exploration of the MLM psychological game?